Hey, it's Nickback TV.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Mr. Nickbag TV, aka Barkaholic, back in the building, back in the mix. And I want to talk about this, man. I just want to talk to y'all for a minute on some real stuff, man. On some real, you know what I'm saying, real stuff. Turn off, man. Listen to this. Turn off TV, radio, entertainment, hip hop, all that stuff, man. Take a break from it sometimes. Like, give yourself a time to breathe from all this madness because at the end of the day, man, hip hop, entertainment, sports, all that stuff is just, it's a bunch of nonsense at the end of the day. It doesn't really, if you're not making money or that's not your career or that's something that you um, are profiting from in the business, why even waste your time being so involved in it, so enwrapped in it, and just so closely following these things? Like, man, I'm just talking from my experience and what I've learned in my life, man. Once I stopped, being so engulfed. See that word? That's when I read a book and I learned that. I hope I'm using it right. When I stopped being so engulfed in like hip hop, sports, and entertainment, and just being so addicted to finding out what's going on in that, my life started to change, man, for the better. Because I started focusing on myself. I started focusing on things that I want to do and things that I want to accomplish in my life, and it's been working out for me quite well. And I just want to let a person know who, hopefully one person, so I always say this, Pac said it. I just want to spark the spark, the spark, the spark. That's all I want to do, man. I want to spark something in your brain so that you know it's a lot of stuff you can accomplish. And you can't accomplish those things if you spend the majority of your day on social media, the majority of your day, looking at hip hop news and gossip and columns and all that media takeout, hip hop war star hip hop, whatever the case may be, whatever hot right now. If you spend the majority of your days in those comments, in that culture, just trying to figure out what's going on, you're gonna lose a lot of yourself, and you're gonna look back and say, man, what I got to fall back on. For case in point, man, I made it a priority for me sometimes to just not listen to any rap, to not look at television, to not even worry about what's going on in the world in general, and just focus on what I want to do. I probably do it for about 30 days, maybe do it for 45 days, maybe do it for 3 months. But within those 3 months, those times where I, take a break from all this nonsense, I learned so much more about myself, and it moves me forward in life. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. You being happy with yourself and moving forward. You can't do that if every day you worried about what's going on in somebody else's life, especially like with its entertainment, because a lot of that stuff is junk, man. And I'm gonna equate it to this. It's like if you are eating food, right? And all you eat is chips, pizza, fast food, you're gonna become fat, overweight, malnourished. If I hope I said that right, you're not gonna be healthy. And that's what hip hop, sports, entertainment, that's what that stuff is. That's like potato chips, that's pizza. And the more you consume of that stuff, the dumber you're gonna get. I mean, the knowledge you gain from knowing who got the hottest album, what's the who got who's gonna win the championship. The knowledge you gain from that means nothing unless you are in that corporation, unless you are in ESPN or work for a hip hop network or things like that. If that's not your job, then why are you so focused on it? Like you can watch Skip Bayless and Skip and Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. and watch them all day. They doing again what they want to do. That's what they want to do. LeBron James, he's doing his business and we watching him. That's like going to McDonald's and watch somebody flip burgers and you just watching him and you like, man, Corey at the McDonald's on the corner down the street, man, he flipped the best. How you see what I'm saying? But about James? James down the street at the Burger King, you should see how he flipped. He got the nice stuff. It's like, dude, that's how basic it is when you waste your time focusing on somebody else do their craft and you not focusing on what you're doing. And I just want to say this: if you're working like a 9 to 5 job, making less money than you think you deserve, maybe you should just like think about what you want to do to better yourself, man. You can't do that when you focus on all of this nonsense, this entertainment, all this crap, man. I might say that because I'm an old head, and you might say, "Oh, you just old and out of it," but I'm just keeping it real, man. You cannot focus on these external things the majority of your time and think you're going to succeed in life. Maybe you will get somewhere, but I'm gonna say you have a better chance when you don't. And I'm just speaking from my own experience, man. It's like when I stopped listening to so much rap, um, my mentality changed. I was calmer. I was more focused. I had more clarity. When you listen to these songs, man, a lot of that stuff get into your head, those vibes, that vibration, and it could be detrimental to you, man. Just like drugs. That's what it is. Sometimes music is a drug. You know what I'm saying? If you get a constant stream of that stuff, just say, for instance, you listening to Jay-Z every day, all the time, you're gonna get that materialistic. You're gonna think you missing. You think you're not worth as much because you don't have the things he talks about, and it's gonna seep into your mental, man. If you're not strong enough, and it's gonna cause a negative effect. Now, a lot of people think just because you're listening to a person like Jay Z talk about the riches and the money that he's gained, that it's gonna um, vicariously seek or through osmosis. Hope I'm using that right. That is going to help you get the same things. That's not what it is, man. You got to work hard to get those things. You got to really grind. You got to really focus on what you want to do to get into a lifestyle like that. And just listen to Jay Z not gonna make you rich. Just like listening to Tupac not gonna make you politically aware. Things like that, man. It's like you really have to put in the work with yourself and turn off a lot of these guys and just focus on what you need to do. And I've done that, man. So I'm telling you from experience. When I stopped listening to rap, man, it kind of was like, wow, man, there's a lot of stuff I can learn and do. You know, one of the things that you know I've been doing a lot and that's watching, the business Bloomberg channels, CNBC, a lot of the business news networks. And when you watch those networks, you start to learn how to profit from that, man. So it's like, are you really gaining knowledge listening to watching ESPN all day? Learning about all of these little things that's going on in the NBA, NFL, Major League Sports. What are you getting from that? That's what you need to ask yourself. And when I watch like business news, I learn a lot of things, and then I find out how I can profit from them things. Like for instance, right now, the OPEC, they trying to cut oil. They trying to cut, the gas supply, which means that if you invested in gas and oil right now, you might can get some money. You might can make a lot of money real quick, and that's just what it is, man. It's just certain things you can learn. And I'm just being honest with you. You can make like you can make a lot of money depending on how much you invest and where you put the money at properly. You can make a lot of money in just a few minutes, a few hours. And I'm not saying that as a person that just tell you to do something that I'm not doing. I'm telling you as a person that's actually participating in this mess, man. And I'm learning like, wow, man, if I would have known this years ago, I'd have been a millionaire times 10. And these are the things that these athletes, celebrities, they don't really tell you them things because maybe they don't want you to get to that level or they don't know. But it's a lot of stuff the average person don't know how they can succeed and make money and grow. But you never will know that until you start looking within yourself to find out which direction you want to go. Me personally, I like to make money. That's something I like to do. So that's probably why I like was towards more of the financials to find out where I can use my money to benefit myself. That might not be your thing. You might be into something else, but whatever it is, you have to ask that higher power to give you that guidance to find that. But you would never find that when you always focus on what's going on on social media. Like right now, I have zero social media. Like I don't even participate in Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook, none of that. This YouTube probably the only thing I have. I cut it all off because it's like, what's the point? I don't care about what other people doing anymore. I just don't care. Like I don't need to let people know what I'm doing all the time. Like when I see a person, I don't want to already know their life story. I want them to tell me. I want to have a conversation. I want to learn about them through them, not because I saw it months ago. Say, oh, you had a baby, and how I wanted them to see me and be like, hey man, I just had a kid. I did this, I did that, and it's an interesting conversation instead of me already knowing and not. It's just it's weird. We're the type of world we live in now, where people just don't take time to learn themselves because they so much connected to the world socially, and then you watch TV, they try to make it like it's a good thing, and I don't think it's a good thing to be connected with everybody socially every minute of the day because you lose a lot of yourself. So I know I'm rambling, I'm going all over the place, but at the end of the day, my whole point is, man, turn off a lot of this stuff and try to see where you want to go, what direction you want to go in life, and you can get there, man. Like I'm telling you, it's books out here that you can read but it takes patience and it takes a willingness to want to take that next step in life, man. You're never gonna get there just listening to music and just thinking that one day it's gonna happen. You're never gonna get there watching YouTube, watching a quick video, thinking, "Oh, I can quickly do it." Oh, how to get rich in 30 minutes. That stuff don't work. You got to really put in the work and find out what you want to do. Because if it's something you don't want to do or not interested in, it's not gonna work anyway. So I can tell you right now, yeah, just how I make money in stocks. I do this, I do that. But if that's not something that you really want to learn on your own, it won't benefit you. Like that's a quick fix. So you need to really talk to a higher power, God. I don't know what your spirituality is. I don't want to try to enforce anything, but try to calm it down in the morning and try to find out what you want to do with your life and move on, man. But a lot of people, we get caught up with focusing on all of this outside nonsense and we lose ourselves and we don't know who we are, why we do things or what. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times you do stuff, you don't even know why you're doing it. And until you stop listening to the outside stuff, you would never know why you do stuff because they are influencing you. Those songs, they do influence you. They do make you feel like you're not worth it. You don't have enough. You're not good enough. Your girl's not hot enough. You need a girl with a big booty and this light skin, long hair. You need. I mean, I'm just being honest. That's just the stuff that people that influence their lives and it messes them up, man. Just like with drugs, like what I'm saying. You look at these rappers, they talk about how much weed they smoke, how much drugs they do, how much pills they pop. And I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of these rappers not smoking that much weed. They're not doing that much drugs. Like Future, for instance, he's not. It's no way you can tell me this dude is doing all of these pills and all of this. Because if he did, he wouldn't be able to make albums. You gotta have some type of. You gotta be focused for a while to make that many albums and to do that. Now I'm not saying that people don't get caught up in drugs because they do, especially when you're in the entertainment business and it's so easy to get. But I'm just saying, when people get caught up like that, you start to see their downfall. But a lot of times, I think a lot of these guys just do that because they feel that's what they need to promote to other people. And when you promote those things, you don't feel the ramifications from them. Because some people might look at a person like Future and say, okay, for me to get like him and rap like him, I got to do these drugs. I can't tell you how many people probably think they got to smoke so much to be a successful rapper. If they not smoking, they don't get the energy, they don't get the feeling, because they think that's what Snoop does, that's what Wiz does, that's what he does to get his inspiration. But again, man, I know I'm going long winded about this, but I really want to just touch on that, man. Like, please, man, I just want to tell people, stop worshiping these people, man. Stop spending your whole time worried about what's going on and all this entertainment and all this other stuff, man. See what's going on in the world and try to find your path, man. Give some time to that, at least a couple hours or so a day, some minutes. Don't just be on social media all day. Like sometimes, what I did was I went to my phone and I started to see my activity. How long I do my how long do I spend on social media and things like that, and the hours and the times of the week was just crazy to me. And I said, you know what, if I can cut that down, maybe I can improve myself. And that's what's been going on, and that's just what I'm on right now. And I'm gonna do more videos like this whenever I get the time to or want to talk about it, because I want people to know that you don't have to spend your life on the computer all day, on your phone all day. There's things out there you can do to better yourself and to get yourself going. And I just think that's how far I'm gonna go. I'll probably get back into this another time, but that's just as far as I'm gonna go, man. That's like the title said, man. Turn off sports, learn stocks. That's just the title. But other than that, man, turn off all this entertainment, all the social media. Just unplug yourself, get off the grid, and find out what's going on within yourself. Because if you don't, you're gonna be lost to the sauce. And by the time you think it's time to wake up, it may be too late. But it may not. It's never too late, but it may be too late for your own self. You may feel like it's too much to overcome to get to the next level when it's not. But the more you compound with all this garbage and foolishness, um, the more time you wasting. So that's just all I want to say to you, man. And whoever watched this video, God bless, man. And hopefully, this helps somebody. Maybe I keep it on here. One day somebody just say, "What are you talking about?" Listen to it and say, "Yeah, I'm about to do that." And maybe I'll start sharing with you guys some of the books I read, some of the things that helped me get to where I'm at right now. Cause I'm not a rich millionaire or nothing like that, but I do well. I do well for myself, and I feel like it's only right that I let people know that it is a way. It's a way that you can get out of your situation. You can increase your income 50 times, 20 times, 100 times. I've done it. I did it. Like, okay, I guess I go. I'm going to keep it 100, man. What, 10 years ago? Maybe 10, 15 years ago, something like that. I don't know, 10. Working at McDonald's. Making, I don't know, $700 a month. You know what I'm saying? $1,000 a month, maybe 1,200. I don't even remember. It was just nothing. And one day I said, you know what? I'm about to change my life, man. I don't want to do this no more. What can I do to set myself up? And I'm gonna tell you the books I read and the steps I take in another video. But I just said, you know what? Let me check this book out right here. Check that book out. Read it. Bam. I'm not gonna lie, man. It changed me. It really gave me an insight. Read this, with that, did that, did that, did that, did that. Fast forward right now, I went from, I don't like to brag, but dude, I went from making $1,200, $1,500 a month before taxes. Now I probably make that in a couple days. Probably make that in a couple days, like in a week. 10 grand. That's just what it's come to, man. And that's all about believing in yourself, turning off all this entertainment, finding out what you can do, and just finding out your best abilities. And it's good, man. I'm living a pretty decent life right now, and I just want to let people know that you can come from the bottom and come up. You don't have to sell drugs. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be an athlete. You can just be a regular person doing your thing, staying focused, being positive, and you can make it out easily, man. And that's just a word of advice, man. And I just want y'all to know that, man, because a lot of this stuff that I see, and I'm like, dude, what does that have to do with anything that can help a person get to their level or another level? It's just nonsense. And I just want to drop this to let you know that you don't have to get caught up in the nonsense. It's a lot of things you can do. And I'm gonna start letting people know, some of the small steps that I've taken that have got me to the level where I'm at. And it ain't much, but trust me, a lot of people look at me and say, "Man, you living right now, you chilling." But it's a lot of hard work, and it's every day is hard work. It's not easy. I'm not done. I want to get to another level. I want to increase more, and that's what it's about, man. It's about uh, uh, um expanding, man. It's about growing. It's about growing as a person, growing as an individual, and living your best life and pushing the limits. But we're gonna get into more of that, man. I just want to drop that on you today. And hopefully somebody sees this and wants to know more. Please comment down so we can keep this conversation going and give me some ideas on what to talk about and let you know some of the steps that I've taken, and maybe you can, look at it too and go from there. But it's your boy. Yeah.